Hi everyone and welcome. Tanya and I were doing a lot of talking, and I decided the fact that it would be time for me to turn around and share with you guys and show you guys how I turn around and schedule up my week because of the fact I am quite time poor during the week. So I need to find one day a week where I can sit down and I can schedule up everything I need to schedule up for a week. So that way, then all I've got to do in the evening when I get home from work is I can go to my business page. I can copy and paste my posts from my business page over. I also have saved on my phone my Canva things that I turn around and do, which I will be showing you within this video as well. Um, and yeah, it's a way of making sure of the fact that I can turn around and I can keep on top of what I need to do. There is also days where I turn around and I schedule the work that I need to, the recordings and everything I need to for posts for another group that I'm in on Facebook, which can also work into the same day that I do my business scheduling stuff as well. Look, being quite honest, it generally takes me about 3 hours to turn around and do all of this, but that's because of the fact that I get in, as you'll see, and I create Canva things that Canva posts that I turn around and I use as story posts, and I get ChatGPT because of how I've seasoned up ChatGPT. I get ChatGPT to make up my prompts for me, and then I make up my stories and things like that in Canva, which I then schedule up within within my planner for my business page. In the planner for my business page, I also have my Instagram page linked up with it as well. So any of the posts that I then turn around and put into my Meta Business Suite planner, I also turn around and put that it posts not just to my business Facebook page, it also posts to my Instagram page. So I'm getting that spread. And then what I do, like I said, overnight time, it could just be before I go to bed or something like that. I will turn around and I will go onto my business page and I will copy and paste from my business page my posts onto my personal page. So that way, then when people look at my personal page and my business page and my Instagram, they will see the same thing across all three of them. And that's the idea, because of the fact that we really don't want differences between our business pages, our personal pages, as well as our Instagrams, because of the fact that we're about building our brand. We're about being able to put our name out there and talk about what it is that we do. So without further ado, I will reduce, oops, wrong one. Ah, sorry about this, guys. I will reduce this up and I will unhide this. This here is my Meta Business Suite planner. Now you can set it up that you can look at it over a month. If you are megally time poor, right, you do have an option, if you wanted to take a complete day, not just 2 or 3 hours, but take a complete day, schedule up an entire month. Okay. Now, I know it seems strange where a lot of us turn around and talk about being time poor. Okay. I want to let you know what my scheduling of a week looks like. So, I am, as you would all know, a full-time carer. Patrick, my eldest son, has a life limiting condition. I am on a Discord call with him at least once a day, if not a normal phone call with him at least once a day in the evenings. My youngest son, Lewis, which you will have seen a few times on some of my Facebook lives, he has autism, ADHD, and generalized anxiety disorder. And basically, when a support worker isn't working with him, he has me basically as a body double. So I do a lot of work with him. Mondays to Thursdays, I work from 9 o'clock in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon as a support coordinator. So I do lots of work with that. I'm out of my house at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't come home until sometimes 7 or 8 o'clock in the night, depending on if I'm doing stuff after work that I need to do, such as groceries or things like that. If I'm not doing anything after work, I come home. I'm normally home about 5:30 in the evening. When I get home, it's about making dinner. It's about finding out from Lewis how his day went, working through with Lewis in regards to stuff that may have happened to him during the daytime, so that he can get an understanding and work through some stuff with him. And then I'm on my call with Pat. Pat, Lewis, and myself are also doing some streaming stuff with all three of us are on Twitch. And Pat and myself in particular have just started getting into the streaming space for Twitch. So at least once a week, if not potentially twice a week, we're doing 3-hour streams on Twitch as well. That if it's once a week, it's normally on a Saturday that we're doing that, a Saturday or a Sunday. When it comes to Fridays, Fridays are my days where I turn around and I do a lot of the work for the other Facebook group that I'm in. I also try and see if I can work in any appointments I need to have happen on a Friday. So that way then I know I don't have to take time off work to be able to get to those appointments and things like that. So that's normally Friday is scheduling, working on the other group stuff. I also take some time on a Friday to also do some of my business scheduling. So some of this scheduling I may actually do on a Friday to try and see if I can free up a weekend. Then on a weekend, depending on the weekend, depends on what happens. So there may be 1 or 2 Twitch streams in there, like I was saying with Pat and Lewis, and those are 3 hours at a time. There is the calls with Pat that still occur, even though we go on to the Twitch streams. After the streaming, we then continue just being on the call, and having lots of fun playing other games, that sort of thing. Sundays are days where I try and see, we might be going out to my daughter's place, my daughter, son-in-law and granddaughter's place on a Sunday for a family get together. Like tomorrow would be Mother's Day. So we're going over to their place for Mother's Day. Or I might be potentially going over to Pat's place to go and visit him, or going out to do something to try and give myself a bit of a break. Okay. My background itself, right? I do have complex PTSD due to trauma throughout my life that I have had. I'm also currently at the present point in time getting tested for fibromyalgia. So I have had chronic pain since I was 13, and I've only just gotten to a point, and I'm now 46, where I'm in a mind space to be able to talk, mind space and a safe space to be able to talk to my GP about all the chronic pain that I have been having throughout those 30 odd years. And both my GP and myself believe the fact that it's fibromyalgia. So my GP is getting me tested so that way he can make the referral through to the rheumatologist. And when I go to see the rheumatologist can say, well, you've had all these tests, they've all come back saying the fact that you don't have this, so therefore the diagnosis is fibromyalgia. So I do have a lot of that. I need to make sure of the fact that my mental health stays in check as much as I possibly can. My positive mindset needs to stay in check as much as possibly can. So through me having times where I can turn around and I can actually schedule all of this stuff up and make it flow as quickly and as simply and as easily as possible, I will take the time when I can to be able to do this. So as I said, Tanya and I were talking about it, and we both decided the fact that it would be a good idea for me to put out this video to show you guys what I do, to give you guys a bit of an insight as to what you may be able to do. Just because it works for me doesn't mean it won't work for you, or that it will work for you. There might be something different that you can do. But since I've been doing this kind of a setup, I have found the fact that my engagement with both my business page as well as my personal page has actually increased because of the fact that I'm getting my page out there and seen more. It's turning around and hitting algorithms where it's getting reach more than what it was when I was just doing it on a daily basis. So that's the idea that I have. What I will do is I will start to put this together, and yeah, I will show you what it is that I do. So it's really funny. I'm actually doing this in bits and pieces. And I'm going to be editing this within CapCut. So that way then it just becomes one flowing video. But I do have things that are happening throughout the day today. So it is going to be bits and pieces. Some of it may even get done tomorrow. So you more than likely will see a change in t-shirts as we go along, especially if I can't get all of it done today because of the other stuff that I've got going on. So one of the first things that I will show you is I actually have two monitors, okay? One of the monitors has my Streamlabs up on it at the moment, which I'm doing my recording through. The other one has my planner on it. And what I normally do is I normally set it up for both of my displays to work at the same time. So I normally have ChatGPT on one and Canva and my planner on the other. But because of the fact that that would be really too complicated for me to try and replicate within Streamlabs, and trying to replicate it within Streamlabs without having Lewis here to be able to help me to show me how I could potentially do that. I'm going to do it all just on the one screen. So one thing that I do have is I always work in Opera because Opera has its own VPN. And it's something that I've been using forever. Opera opens up automatically as soon as I switch on my computer. Now you'll notice the fact that here I have two different Operas that are open. One that's got my business suite in it, and the other has, and I'll bring it into the screen for you to have a look at. The other is the equivalent of my brain. So it has a boatload of different tabs that I use. So I have tabs here for the Freedom Era. I have tabs here for my own Google Drive. I have tabs here for the Google Drive for the Facebook group that I'm in. I have my Gmail in here. I have, okay, I didn't get rid of my Etsy stuff, so that's all good. Let me just go back to here. Um, I have my distributor portal, which I'm now going to move to near there. I will have Bitly near there as well. Okay, fibromyalgia stuff, as you can see. I also have in here my chat GPT. Now my chat GPT, as you can see, has a lot of history here. Okay, the reason why it has such a lot of history here is because of the fact that I have been doing everything I can to be able to season my chat GPT so that when I turn around and I put a post, a prompt in asking it to turn around and do, say, seven, like, and you'll see the sort of prompts that I use, but for instance, like 7 long form stories for Facebook in regards to my business and what I do. As you'll see, I'll turn around and I will use that as we go through. And when I put that in, my prompts will then come up, that my chat GPT will then come up and it will give me those stories. Okay. But the way in which it gives it, it will actually use my tone. It will use my voice. It will use, and I have tested this with different people. I can turn around and I can tell you the fact that lots of people that I have tested this with cannot tell the difference between what is a chat GPT post that I put up and what is a post that I will write myself, because of how much time I have taken to actually season my chat GPT. Okay. It knows a lot of my history. It knows a lot about my family dynamics, things that have happened, things that are going on, everything like that. I have made sure that my chat GPT knows all of this stuff so that it knows how to be able to write for me. Any of my posts I have had on Facebook that have had really, really awesome engagement, I have copied those posts into ChatGPT so that way then ChatGPT can learn how I write for really, really good engaging posts. Okay, ChatGPT has become one of the best things that I have used for building this business, and it takes so much of the long form out of doing the scheduling, because of the fact that, as you'll see, I can set everything up in here. I can turn around and I can do my prompts for, I could potentially do my prompts for the next 2 weeks, which might be something that I turn around and I show you. But I can do my prompts at least for the next 7 days, and ChatGPT will turn around, will throw them out to me, and then what I do is I then copy and paste them, I tweak them up, I go into Canva, I design up the stories that it tells me, like the stories, not the actual post, but the stories in Canva that it tells me. If I ask it for any humorous memes, I also design those within ChatGPT as well. So as you'll see as we go along, ChatGPT is absolutely fantastic. If you have not started to go through how to season your ChatGPT and get it up and running and get it as functional and have your voice, how you write, everything like that set within it, you need to learn it. You need to turn around and start to do it, because of the fact that this will save you so much time when it comes to scheduling up these posts. Okay, so bear with me. Got a couple other things that I need to do outside of this video at the moment. I will be back shortly. So I am back. as I said, you will see the fact that I will turn around and change clothes because of the fact that I'm doing things in between everything. I've gone out for a drive that I had to do. I need to find out I was a week early for an appointment that I thought was today, but is not until next week. So, where we got up to before, I was turning around and discussing about how you should turn around and season your chat GPT to get it to a point where it will start to turn around and talk like you. This is something that is extremely important, like I said before. So, without further ado, let me turn around. You will also hear at one stage a ping from my Discord because of the fact that Pat is on a call, but he's going to let me know when he needs me to go on. So when that ping comes up, I will turn around and have to go. So, without further ado, and yes, you will hear my dog Morty in the background. He's being quite naughty at the moment. Here we go. So, the prompt that I turn around and I use, okay, when it comes to writing up things for my business, I have my own business project thing, okay, within my chat GPT. It means the fact that I can open it up and I can just do a chat straight in my project rather than going through all of these that are here, okay? So in here, previously with other ones that I turn around and I did, this is my prompt that I turn around and I use for my posts. So I'm asking my chat GPT to be a copyright, to be a Facebook algorithm expert, and to be an SEO expert to write 5 captivating posts. I asked them to align them with a set of hashtags that are trending hashtags for my niche area. I turn around and say, bear with me a second. 40. Enough. Or you go back outside. I also turn around and say in there the fact that they need to make sure that the posts have got a scroll stopping hook and caption and that they resonate as though they're being told to one person only, because that's what you're wanting, is you're wanting them to resonate with one person only, like as though you're talking specifically to them. I want them to discuss the social media training platform that I'm a member of, how it has its free trial period. At that stage when I wrote this, it was a 7-day free trial period. It's now gone up to 10 days. And that the person can comment with a purple heart emoji. I outline that for the copy, it has to really sound like me and it has to be as concise as possible, but also be real storytelling as well. So that I will copy that. I'll go back into my folder and I will paste that prompt. Now, instead of 5, I'm wanting 7. Okay, so I'll change that up to 7 captivating posts. They need to align with the trending hashtags of my niche, right? Instead of this part. That they need to have the scroll stopping hook and caption and resonate as though they're being told by one person only. Within them, if it could be discussed how the social media training platform I'm a member of has a 10-day, not 7, but 10-day free trial period happening. And that, and that the person can comment with a purple heart emoji, that would be great. Yes, I turn around and I talk to ChatGPT like as though ChatGPT is a real person. I use pleasers, I use thank yous, I use Kens and everything like that because of the fact that ChatGPT is doing so much for me that they may as well be human. So, for the copy, it has to sound like me, has to be as concise as possible, but also be really storytelling. So, that is my prompt for this week. Then it starts. The only problem with this, for me, I feel that these are not. Those ones I feel aren't what I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask ChatGPT, please write these like you did with the posts in the social media post ideas chat. Okay. These aren't long enough for a good long form post. Facebook. Can you please write them long form Facebook post? With full stopping book and caption and include the trending, the top 10 trending hashtags for my niche at the end of each post. Sometimes you have to do this when it comes to ChatGPT. So ChatGPT really took me quite literally up here. Okay. These really aren't what I'm looking for. I'm looking for longer form stories or longer form posts. So that's why I turned around and I asked to make them up like they are within that chat. They still really didn't do that. So this is why I've turned around and I've said to ChatGPT that they're not good enough for long form posts on Facebook and asked them to fix it. Okay. Now we're getting there. Okay. So now we're seeing these. Okay. It's turning around and saying if they could polish it up even further, tweak it for specific days or themes based on my weekly content plan. I don't have a weekly content plan. I haven't been organized enough, and that's saying something for me. I haven't been organized enough to actually set down what a weekly content plan for me will be. I eventually want to get to a point that each day will have a specific theme. Okay. And that's what I will want with the weekly content plan is that I will let ChatGPT know what my weekly content plan is, and I will ask if those posts can fit into that weekly content plan with those themes. So I don't need it to do that for the moment. Now what I want it to do is I want it to, can you please write for me 7 inspirational quotes that I can use for story posts for Facebook and Facebook and Insta that fit within the algorithm, scroll stopping, and will generate interactions within the viewers. If they could align with the post for the week, that would also be great. Okay. Now, can you please write for me 7 funny memes that I can put as stories for Facebook and Instagram. Be good if I could spell right. Why didn't I like that? That fit within the parameters above the I think I keep spelling parameters wrong. Okay. Hello. Hello, everyone. I am back again. It is now Monday because of the fact that I got severely busy for the rest of Saturday, and the whole of Sunday, of course, was Mother's Day. So now I am back. And because of the fact that today is Monday, normally I would work on a Monday, but I do have this week off for annual leave. So that's why this is, yeah. Let me just turn that off for a second and turn that one off. Yeah, I'm on annual leave this week because Pat, my eldest, has a procedure on his heart tomorrow. So I've taken the week off to ensure the fact that I can be available to help out with everything that needs to happen with that. So I thought the fact, I know that last time we turned around and had me do up 7 days worth of content. What I'm actually going to do is take myself up to next Saturday. So 7 days will take us to next Monday. So we need Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So we need another 5 days. So what I can do then is I can then go, I can ask ChatGPT, can you please write another 5 long form posts for my Facebook, please. Now what I can do is I can go back and see what it's writing compared to previously. Looks to be about the same length for them, so I'm happy with that. Apologies about that. The joys of having a husky. And he decided the fact that he really wanted to try and say hello to the cats. But anyway, so looking back over this, they look really good. So now what we want is we want another 5 inspirational quotes, and we want another 5 funny memes. So can you please write another 5 inspirational quotes and another 5 funny memes. Okay, so that is everything set up for me in ChatGPT for the next, what's it, 12 days. Sorry, my brain was just a bit cuckoo at that stage. So what we do from here is this. I will move this over to my second monitor so you won't see it, but I will bring my ChatGPT over to here. Okay, so I have ChatGPT and my planner here ready to go. But what I want to do first is I want to go into Canva, go into my motivational quotes, right? As you can see, started to get them all together. So I have a similar sort of theme when it comes to motivational quotes. I also have a similar sort of theme when it comes to my funny memes. Okay, and yes, I really like that one. So motivational quotes. Let's duplicate this page. Okay, now when we have a look here, motivational quote 1: busy is a mindset, not a badge of honor. Make time for your life, for the life you actually want. Okay, so we copy that, we bring it over here, we paste it into here. Now I will reduce the size of it a little. Okay, and what I'll do is, instead of double tap if you're ready to make time work for you, I will put in, are you ready to make time work for you, in here instead. Okay. Move that down. Now, I want to change that. So I'll go into elements, previously used. Let's go through this and have a look. Let's do some of that for a change. Now what I'm wanting to do is line it up with that border that's there at the moment. So that way then I know it'll definitely be something that's seen. Okay, let's change these up to these. Remove the background on them so that way it's just them. Okay. And now we change the color to different palette colors of the colors that are in here. So let's change it to a really dark pink. We'll do the same here. Okay, that's what I do for these. Now what I'll also do, I'll do the first funny memes one as well. So delete that, delete that. Okay, first funny meme. So copy this. Just add a text box. Okay. Put this down around here like that. Elements. Let's say head explosion. And we put in, say that. Okay. And that's what I do for the rest of my funny memes as well, is I will go through and I will copy and paste the text over. I'll pick a graphic that will go with it. Then I will download current page. Okay. And go done and download. Okay. Then digital, inspirational. I'm going to put a new folder in here that is, what are we, May 2025 inspirational quotes. Oops. Be good if I could spell. Go in there. Busy is a mindset. So busy or business? Busy. Okay, that's that one downloaded. Then here I will download current page. Done. Download. New folder. May 2025. Funny memes. Head explosion. Thanks. That's those ones. Then I come into here. I click on today. So what I'm wanting to do is schedule up today's post, today's story, today's post, today's inspirational quote story, and today's funny meme story. Okay, so that way then I can turn around and know the fact that I've got them. And then what I do is the same thing for the rest of the days. So I will do today's one and I will do tomorrow's one to show you how to work it. So for today, we want to schedule a post initially. Okay, I will want to schedule it because it's almost 2 o'clock. I want to schedule it for 4 p.m. today. Okay, and save. Then I will go into here, go to my, oh, that's right. Oh, hold on for a sec. Oh, pardon me. Right, I want this one here as well. So this one here is a font generator. Okay, it's what I use, and you'll see in a second what I use it for. So this is why I generally have everything set up between my two monitors. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put my ChatGPT back over on my second monitor. Okay, but you guys know the fact that it's there. I will put fancy generator next to here. So my first post talks about the myth of too busy. Okay, and the first the caption is the myth of too busy, or the scroll stopping hook is the myth of too busy, and then the caption is, are you telling yourself you're too busy to build the life that you want? So the myth of too busy, I will copy that over. I will put it into here, right? And then I'll go through and I will choose the one that looks pretty good. Okay, something that would definitely capture someone's sight if they were to see it. So I might do monospace for this one and put that into here. Then this is copy. So because of that, we want white space between sentences and paragraphs. That is something that you will learn within the content in the Freedom Era. Okay, copy needs to have spacing between everything. So my caption that I now want is this. What I'll do is I will do it in italic serif font and I will paste it into here. Again, more white space. Then I put the main body of my content. I will put some more white space to give my call to action. And then I'll do 4 of those and bring in my top 10 trending hashtags for my niche that cover the topic of what was written. Okay. So that's how I turn around and do this. It generates in here the see more, which is something that you really, really want. Okay. And because I want this not just on Facebook but also Instagram, I have to add a photo. So I will add from file manager, desktop. Okay. Bear with me a second, guys. Let's bring you over here. There. Sorry about this, guys, but some of my photos I would prefer not to share with everyone. So the idea of this topic is the myth of being too busy. So I want a photo that kind of resonates with that kind of thing. Now, my youngest had his 18th a few weeks ago now. And we had lots of fun at it. Actually, no, I'll do the photo of myself and my two sons going for. Oh, crikey. That didn't work. Going for a Good Friday. That didn't work either. Bear with me a sec, guys. Okay, fine. Save as. 4976. Okay. So add a photo from downloads, all files. I want that one. Okay, add one. You want a photo that sort of resonates with what it is that you're talking about. So, showing you how to get your different type of fonts, how to set out your white space for your copy, how to schedule it all up and add your photo to it, because if you don't have a photo, it will not post to Instagram. You need a photo with Insta. So now, because of the fact that it is all scheduled up for 4 p.m. today, I will hit schedule. And no, I am not boosting my posts. So now you'll see the fact that this is set up here. Okay. What we want to do next is we need to schedule a story. I want it, where are we now? 2 o'clock. Let's say, let's make it 3 o'clock for the first story. The first story is going to be the inspirational quote. So I go to digital business, go to inspirational quotes, go to this one, go to this one. Okay, it's loading its preview, so you get to have a look at what it's like before you turn around and go, yes, okay, not a problem. And you go schedule. Okay, it won't show up immediately. Stories don't show up immediately when they're scheduled up. And now we'll schedule up the story for the funny meme, right? Schedule it for 6 p.m. tonight. We'll add a photo and we'll go to funny memes, this one, this one. loading its preview. That's what it looks like. Okay. It's scheduled for 6 p.m. Let's schedule it up. Okay. There's the one for 3 p.m. that's scheduled up. And now if I refresh my planner, we should, yep, there's the funny memes. Okay. That's what I do for scheduling up my posts. Because of the fact that I'm turning around and doing 12 days worth of posts, it's going to be a long time. It's not going to be the usual, say, 3 hours that I will do. But that's what I will do. And when I go to schedule up, say my next schedule post will be for tomorrow, I normally schedule my first post, like my long form post, to go up at 10 o'clock of a morning. So it gives me plenty of time to be able to copy and paste that over onto my personal page when I get home from work. So that's the sort of thing that I turn around and do. I take one day a week where I do this. I sit down, I do this, it gets done. Okay. And so I try to make it one of my days that I'm free, whether it's a Friday, a Saturday, or a Sunday, in between the stuff that I do on either a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So this is how I do it. This is how I turn around and make sure of the fact that I'm getting stuff out there. At a minimum, I'm getting this out there. So this is my minimum that I turn around and I put out. Okay. My maximum includes posts that I do throughout the day on my personal page that I can turn around and copy and paste over onto my business page. Okay. But this is how I schedule myself up because of how time poor I get during a week. And I need to make sure of the fact that I stay on top of all of this as much as I can. This is starting to get me out there. I'm starting to get a good amount of followers with this. And it's about me making sure of the fact that I make time to get this sort of thing happening. Okay, so that's me for this. That's me for this training. I'm more than happy to have conversations with anyone in regards to it, going through, helping you to be able to figure this out, to work it out. It's all stuff that I turn around and I really learnt those through the academy when it comes to using the planner, because of the fact that they tell you in the academy to use Meta Business Suite. Meta Business Suite you can't use on a personal page. You can only use Meta Business Suite on a business page. So that's why you need to set up a business page so you can do this sort of thing with your business page, and then you copy and paste it over onto your personal. So that way it all comes together. Okay? So when someone looks you up, you've got the same message across all platforms. Okay? But like I said, more than happy to have more conversations with everyone about it. So yeah, if you want to turn around and book a time with me so we can look at it and talk about it, everything like that, by all means, let me know. And until next time, I'll catch you later. Bye.